Welcome to the Unstoppable Pursuit podcast, where we're pushing the limits in business, life, and health. And today, we're talking about the cost of ambition. It's episode 36. I'm Brian Benson, and next to me, well, he wrestled in the heavyweight weight class when he was 7 and still wears the singlet, Mike Stahl.
He wrote a book called Dominate Your Day, which I'm going to read. Available at michaelstahl.com. It's available for $19.99 plus shipping and handling. Everything you have ever wanted is on the other side of fear. That fear you are feeling is simply an illusion, simply made up of a false reality that doesn't actually exist. The reality is that you are more than capable of achieving your goals. In fact, your goals are waiting for you to come and get them and conquer them. They want you as much as you want them. Never let the feeling of fear outweigh your desire of being who you were meant to be. When you conquer fear, you gain more pieces of who you really are and who you're destined to be. There is only one you. There is only one way for you. Life sometimes is a puzzle. As you continue to break down those barriers along the way, you continue to piece together the life you are creating for you and your future family. The only thing standing between you and your goals are the made-up scenarios that do not even exist. Rise above them, stand tall, walk with a purpose, and of course, dominate your day.
Dominate your day. And Mike, as you noticed, dominated his hair today with wax.
Yes, I have grown out my hair, and for those that are watching, yes, I am using the Dove hair product to put paste in my hair. Thank you very much.
What's up, Dove?
It was $5.69. I chose that because the Axe product was $6.99. Cheers.
Here's to being poor. All right,
let's rock this show, Brian.
All right, today we're talking about the cost of ambition, and let me tell you, when you are ambitious, it does take a lot out of you. And Mike and I are going to go through a bunch of points here, but we disagree and agree on some of these. So I think this is going to be an interesting episode for both of us, because I think we're going to have some deeper stories and things that we're going to be talking about within the cost of ambition, because Mike and I are ambitious people. I would consider us ambitious people, and I would consider anybody listening to us ambitious because clearly they want to better themselves. So let's dive right in to number one. The cost of ambition is late nights and early mornings.
One thing that I've struggled with along my journey of entrepreneurship has been the ability to switch your hustle mode on and hustle mode off. And I've gotten into arguments with my significant other, Lindsay, my wife. If you're watching, I apologize in advance if I continue to lack balance in my life. But, speaking from an entrepreneurship standpoint, it's very hard because you think that time is money and you want to be productive with your time. And so a lot of times you're working late into the night, or you're waking up super early in the morning, or you're doing both, which I know you do quite a bit, especially having a baby now. But it's hard because as an entrepreneur, you have that hustle inside you, and you want to be going hard 365, 24 hours a day. And although that does work for some, it may not work for others. Like we talked about this before. Like I try to do what Gary Vee does, and I can't mimic him. I can only be me, And I've kind of worn myself out trying to go as long as what he has throughout the day. Like I know I have productive times during the day and times where I'm probably not so productive. But the fact of the matter is that your time is money. And you have to make good use of your time. And again, we've talked about this before, and I like using what Brian said is we're not managing time. You can't really do that. We're just managing ourselves within the time. So, if that means late night, early mornings, and so be it. The quote that I like to use is, as an entrepreneur, being an entrepreneur is living your life right now like most people won't, so in the future you can live your life like most people can't.
Yeah, I love it, Mike, and I don't have a lot to add to that. Mike and I both do look up to Gary Vee in a way. We like his hustle, we like the work he puts out there, we like his art. But, Mike and I are not trying to be Gary Vee, and I don't suggest anybody tries to be Gary Vee or anybody but yourself, I see so many videos and people now out there trying to be Gary Vee, trying to be these people that they're not. Like, Mike and I understand that we love what we do, and we are goofy dudes. If you hang out with us, and we are just us, like 100%. Don't be anybody you're not. So, like Mike said, if you're a late night person, do it. If you're an early morning person, do it. If you need 8 hours of sleep, like I normally do until I had a kid, then I realized that's not going to happen. I just had to do what I had to do, but don't try to emulate or be anybody else. Like, be ambitious, but be ambitious the way that you need to be ambitious. Who cares what these other people are putting out on the internet or what they're saying? Like, always do you. We seek motivation from those people, but we don't try to be those people. We just try to be the best version of ourselves. Because at the end of the day, that's who we're versed. Ourselves. Nobody else.
Exactly. And everyone else is already taken, so you got to be yourself, you know? And like, as an entrepreneur, you want to have a set schedule, but it's hard to do so because you're on hustle mode. You may have kids, you have a family, you have events that you need to go to. So there will be late nights, early mornings, one or the other. There may be both, but you need to find what works for you.
Yeah.
Point number 2, the cost of ambition. Lots of associates, very few friends.
You know, I'm up and down about this, but I'm going to go with what Les Brown talks about, and this is something how you got to sort of categorize your friends, and this is what I learned from him is he says, I have friends I go out and have drinks with, I have friends I go out to dinners with, I have friends I talk business with, I have friends I work out with, I have friends I do this with. So he kind of categorizes his friends and doesn't crisscross, because guess what? I have friends that I really, really love, but they are not the most ambitious people, and they love being employees, and that's totally fine with me. But they're in the zone of, hey, I'm going to have dinner with you, and I'm going to have drinks with you, but don't talk to me about business, or don't talk to me, because sometimes that will just bring you down. I think that you can have friends, but just categorize them in the right way. I think your relationships become more meaningful. You find the people who are going to help elevate you, and you hang more around those people if you want to be elevated in business and life and health. Or I don't hang out with the skinnier, scrawnier person than me. I hang out with Mike and my other friend Jeff, who are much more buff than me, because I realize, like, in the health world, okay, well, I can't go to the gym with somebody who's not at a higher level than me, so I always try to up my game. And to me, I think it's, I don't know, I'm somebody who wants to build deep relationships with people. I'm okay with having associates and whatever and people that you kind of work with, but I don't know how much I totally agree with this, because when I build a relationship with somebody, it's going to be deep. Like, we're going to go deep. Like, we're going to know each other really, really well, because I'm a pretty open book.
Because, like, what's the point?
I care about that. I care about people. I care about and investing in people. And that's, to me, it's like, yeah, I'll have associates and very few friends, but now that I'm looking at this again, it's like, I don't know how much I agree. Maybe I'll have 10 friends, but they'll be really deep, good relationships.
Yeah, I'm down the middle on this too. I think for me, it's a choice basically. But I will back Brian up on the fact that there's been a few times where I've texted him during the day and said, dude, I just had conversation with so and I'm just like I was kind of like disappointed, because I was trying to talk business with them and they just weren't like there. Mm-hmm. Like, they weren't. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe they're not in the business frame of mind. Maybe they're not interested or whatnot. I just thought I was like, okay, I kind of wasted my time. Like, I wasn't, I didn't get out of the conversation what I was really looking for. And that's when Brian, this was a while ago, and I'm glad you brought it up too, because he texted me back and he's like, literally, dude, he's like, I think you did bring up the book. You brought up the fact that we need to categorize our friends, and I think that's, I don't want that to sound shallow or anything like that.
Because I don't want to, if we preface that, it's like, it's okay to have friends in different aspects and ways that you hang out with people. You can have acquaintances. You can have the person you call for dinner. I don't mean it to sound shallow.
No,
because those people aren't bad people. I think they're great people. It's just, you hang out with them at different times in your life.
No, I understand what you're saying. I mean, like, you may have friends that, let's say, you go out to eat with, but like, you guys just don't talk business. You just don't. You talk about everything but business, and that's okay.
Yeah, you know,
like, you're learning to know who you can truly connect with on different levels as far as what the topic of conversation is. But I think it is a choice, because I know a lot of successful people that are like ridiculously successful, and they have a ton of friends, like, that they consider family. Like Andy Frisella, for example, like, just ridiculously successful, but he has his company, First Form, and all his employees that he considers his friends, and all the athletes that are associated with the company, like, he considers them family.
Yeah.
So he's a great example of, the complete opposite of this.
Right.
So it could go either way in this, and we just want to emphasize the fact that it is a choice. how many friends you have and how deep of a relationship you have with them, that's really up to you.
Yeah, I mean, I think that as you go along, you'll realize when you start climbing the ladder of success, the level of friends changes. It just does.
And who really are your true friends.
Yeah, it just
I think
does.
that's the underlying point on this one.
I agree.
It is a choice, but the more success you obtain, you'll probably realize more and more which friendships and relationships you value the most and that you get the most out of and that enhance your life rather than take away from your life.
Yeah, I agree. Number 3, you will be misunderstood. Misunderstood.
We're misunderstood. I think we're misunderstood saying that you're not going to have any friends if you're successful. Okay, so number 2, if you're confused on number 2, hit us up in the comment section below on the Facebook video. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about your feelings.
Let's
go one-on-one. Let's go in depth. No, but as far as being misunderstood, I think that, I brought the quote up in the last segment, and it was that, you might be onto something big when people are saying that you probably can't do it, or they're a little weirded out by it, or they're a little uncomfortable with it. I think that as an entrepreneur, or even as a person wanting to get into good shape, like a lot of people, when they begin a weight loss journey, they're misunderstood because people think that they're very selfish, that they're focusing so much on themselves, and they're putting too much time into the gym, and they're cooking all their meals ahead of time. But you know what? If you fail to plan, then you're planning to fail. That's a famous quote that's said all the time. And I believe that that's true. And I've seen it as a personal trainer with my clients. They'll come to me and they're like, my family and friends are not really supporting me very much. I think they're misunderstanding why I'm actually on this journey. And I know we don't talk about health and wellness as much as what we really want to in here, so we get so focused on the business aspect. But this goes hand in hand with both business and health, that if you have goals, both business and health, I think people are going to misunderstand you. And I think that, and I posted this on our Instagram account, is that once someone says that you can't do it, it really is them saying that they can't do it.
Yeah.
Because when you start to achieve success both with your body or with business, and then some people get really uncomfortable with it, it's because you are reminding them of where they're at and why they're not improving and why they're not doing anything with their life. But you know what? That's not any of your concern. You're focused on you and improving yourself so you can inspire others, and those people are going to have to figure their shit out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the best way to explain it.
Mike, you raised such a good point. It's like, we've all probably been in that position where we've had like that friend kind of not really understand why we're doing something, and subconsciously it's because they're like, wait, don't leave me behind here.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't want to be the only one still drinking at the same local watering hole. I don't want to be the one who's still overweight. I don't want to be, but subconsciously, I mean, they're not purposely saying, I mean, they are to a certain degree, but they're not like trying to be mean or misunderstand you. But you're right, it's a reminder of them going, holy crap, he's starting to like go somewhere and I'm still here, and that bothers me, and so I'm going to maybe say things or do things, because we get people that hit us up all the time that say like, oh, like, my friends and family aren't supportive and stuff, but it's because they're not doing it, and you're trying to make a difference, and they don't like that. They don't like that. People don't like that. They say, wait, stay here with me. Don't get better than me. Then I'll be by myself, and misery loves company. So of course they're going to try to drag you down at any moment, and you just need to like bust through that and forget about it and do you. Like you can't worry about, like, it goes back to like the associates and few friends. Like, you may lose friends and people in your life. You may. I'm not saying for sure, but you may. And I mean, it's unfortunate, but it just happens, It just happens because if you want what you totally deserve, then you need to keep going after it no matter what people say,
Right. And I don't understand why people, and I've been like this in the past where I felt the need to explain myself in detail to people that I realized were committed to misunderstanding me.
Yeah.
And then now I realize I don't owe an explanation to anyone about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
If you want to know what I'm doing, ask and I'll tell you, but or look me up on social media and see what I'm doing with business and what we're trying to do together. Like, I don't owe an explanation to people that are always committed to misunderstanding me. And there's a lot of people that are like that, again, because it's a reminder to them of maybe that they're miserable or they're fearful of trying to put themselves out there. Well, you know what? We're putting ourselves out there.
Yeah.
You know, and like for me, I've always been very serious about my health, and you know, even growing up playing basketball, like nobody told me to go out and shoot 500 free throws a day. You know, I had the little thing on the basketball hoop that would return it to me, you know, the plastic piece. My dad set that up for me. And like, you know, people would say like, why are you always out there shooting baskets for 2 hours? I don't know. Maybe because I want to be good. Maybe because I want to be great at basketball. Do I really need to explain why I'm working long hours or why I'm like busting my ass in the gym? Like, why are you spending so much time in the gym? I don't know, dude. Like, maybe to build muscles?
Yeah.
Does that ring a bell? You know what I mean? Like, it's almost very concrete. So I don't want to have to explain myself to people that they're miserable with where they're at, you know?
Yeah, I think there's a quote. What wasn't it? Jay-Z. It was like, I didn't work this hard to like be average or something like that, or like I didn't work this hard to like be back to where I used to be, kind of thing. It was something along those lines. But I really, really enjoyed that because I always thought to myself like, I used to be kind of that friend who I think I definitely used to be that friend who was always like, come on, man, like, party with me. Like, oh, don't, like, not party and go be better because then I'll be stuck here by myself. And I think, you know, just honestly, like, that was just the way that I lived my life for, like, a really long time. And, like, this actually kind of hurts because I think that I actually probably did try to pull, like, people back to, like, hey, let's just keep partying. But now that I'm different, now that I've changed and allowed myself to go do things, I have people that are like, come on, man, like, you used to be the best at drinking, you used to be so good.
Well, you know what though, Brian? That shows the growth process.
Yeah.
That shows
I had to go through that.
Yes,
right?
and that shows that anyone that's listening or watching, if you were in the position that Brian was in, you're capable of getting to where Brian is now, where instead of maybe being that person from the past, now Brian's running a podcast trying to help people. Trying to get people to be successful and get up off their ass and move and work hard towards their passions. Put themselves out there to be vulnerable and just go after what it is you want in life. I mean, you're a success story.
Dude, I failed out of college. I failed out of college. I failed out of college. I wrote a letter to get back in. I got back in, and my academic advisor told me, you better get used to the saying, would you like fries with that? Because you're going nowhere in life. And that was my life. But maybe I started to believe that, and I think that that's where I started to go downhill a lot. And I think that, but if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't be to where I am today. So I'm like happy that I was like so misunderstood in so many ways, you know? Yep. But that's it.
That's an awesome story. Yeah, take note of that, you guys. You learned something new today about that. All right, here's another one that can kind of go both ways, depending on what your current situation is. But you will be single unless you're lucky enough to find someone who understands your lifestyle of choice.
You know, and that is...
This is important.
This is really
not
important.
just for your relationship, but for your circle of friends.
I agree.
So this is tied into kind of number 2, lots of associates, very few friends.
Yeah, I think, here's the thing, and this is how my wife and I run our relationship. We both realize that
Therese, if you're watching right now, you're going to want to hit pause.
Individually, we both need to succeed in the way that we need to feel happy, because the happier we are as individuals, the more we can bring to the relationship. That's how we work. I don't know however anybody else works, that's totally cool with me, but she knows I need to stay late even though we have, a 2-month-old. She knows I need to run this podcast. She knows I need to work late a lot of the times, and she allows me to do that, and she supports me 100%. I let her get up super freaking early in the morning to go anchor on the news so she can go crush it in her dream. She's wanted to be a newscaster since she was 7 years old. Like, go do that and go be happy, because when you're happy and I'm happy individually, we come together and we bring a lot more love and happiness to the family. That's how I think it, in my world, it's been working really, really well. But I think that this is wrong. I think that you can have, as long as that person behind you is a rock and solid and somebody who supports you, and that would be your good friends, that would be your spouse. As long as there's a support system there, then you can find happiness, and you can you won't be single. I don't think so.
Yeah, I would say that Lindsay and I's style is exactly the same as your guys'. We both mutually support each other's goals. I feel that if she wins, I win. If I win, she wins. So it's like we both win. So there's times where I need to sacrifice things so I can of what I want to do so I can support her and vice versa. But she's got as much hustle in her as what I have in me. And frankly, I don't think I could be with anyone that does not understand that lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like if you don't understand, like if you don't have a desire within you to be great and be the best version of yourself and inspire others and like have a purpose in life, have goals, like it would be hard to be with that person, So that's why with Lindsay, she compliments me very well because she knows that I have that fire inside of me to want to be the best. Like I'm my biggest critic. I'm a perfectionist. Same thing with you. But what works for our relationships may not work for the people that are watching and listening.
Yeah, right.
You got to find your own. But the truth is, there's plenty of people out there that you may mesh with that do support your goals. From a friendship standpoint, like that quote that you always sent it to me in the past about the 5 friends that you spend the most time with, you resemble the most, And I really think about that. I think, and I talked about, going way back to an early podcast.
Well, don't listen to our early podcast.
Yeah, do not do us a favor and do not listen or watch our first 3 or 4 podcasts because we had no idea what the heck we were doing, and it's almost embarrassing to watch. But then again, here's the growth process. Here we are. We're in our new HQ here. Shout out. But anyways, I talked about who I would want in my foxhole. Like if I were in war and I was in the front of the hole and I had 2 people on my sides and 1 person behind my back. Think about those people.
Yeah.
Who are those people in your life right now that you would want in there? Well, obviously I would choose Lindsay. And then I need 2 other people, so I'll probably choose you, and then, I don't know.
I'm here on the left side all the time.
I'll have 2 Brians. How about that? 2 Brians in the home, Lindsay, and myself, baby. Let's get it done. No, but you want to find those people that you can really trust and that you can confide in and that bring out the best in you, not the mess in you, that'll be in that foxhole that you trust. And I think that's very important from a friendship standpoint in this, too. And in addition to your relationship, your marriage, whatever, boyfriend, girlfriend.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. All right. I can't read this.
People will want you to do good, but never be better than them. This one's another one of those. This one,
same kind of misunderstood thing.
Yep.
I don't want to beat it over the head then, but I think, listen, as much as you are always in competition with yourself, you always have to just have the understanding that people are going to want to be better than you. You know what I mean? And I think that they don't want you to do better. I'm telling you, it's a subconscious thing. It's something that they on the front of their brain, they say, "Good job, Mike, keep crushing it, bro." But sometimes deep down they're like, "Oh man, I don't want him to go too far."
I think it's natural as a human being to somewhat feel that a little bit.
Is there a survival of the fittest sort of?
Yep, maybe a little bit out of desperation or something, but I think, I just think it's natural for you a little bit to, because even for myself, I guess I would say if we saw someone really successful, I would say, my perspective would be, damn, they're crushing it, that's awesome, he is winning. But instead of me thinking, I can honestly say this, and I think I can speak for your behalf too, before, maybe in the past, I would think, damn, like what you said. I don't know if I want him to be successful. Now I'm to a place now where my first instinct is, that's awesome, he's crushing it, I'm inspired by that, but then inside I say, damn, I want to be that too. I don't think negatively about them. I start thinking,
it motivates me.
Yes, it motivates me, and I say, damn, I want that too.
I know.
Tiny little bit of envy, but it's more so competitiveness.
It is.
The competitor to me, I'm keeping track. I'm keeping score. We talked about that before in a previous segment, that you do need to keep track of score. You guys, I almost look at business and my health is almost like a game. There's winning and losing.
Yeah.
There's a score. If one team scores 86 and the other team scores 82, you lose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I think about that with business. I want to win. I want to win with my health too.
Yeah, I think it's. I think you put in the best perspective possible. I think that it shouldn't be it shouldn't be an envy about what other people are doing. It should just motivate you. Like when your friends are doing really good, like when I have phone calls with some of my friends that I talk like business with, and they tell me I got a promotion, or dude, I'm making like 6 figures now, and oh, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Like I am seriously happy for them, but I also go, I don't want them to not do better. I want them to keep doing better because it's gonna keep elevating my game every step of the way. And it goes back to the hey, you're not gonna go shoot hoops with somebody who's 10 times worse than you, so you can stuff them and so you can just like beat them, 100-0. You're gonna play against a guy that's better than you, so you can keep elevating your game. That's what I look at it as. I see that when someone's crushing it in business, I'm like, I want to hang out more with that person because now I know that's just going to make me better.
Yeah, now that's perfectly said on that. And I would end these topics with the fact that if you are right now in a place and you can honestly be honest with yourself, that it really bothers you when you see other people succeed, dude, then you need to like check yourself hardcore. You need to reevaluate where you are at in life, what you want to do with your life, because I'm telling you, again, I'm always quoting Andy Frisella because I really like his approach. He said that like the people that are truly crushing it in life do not want to see other people do bad. They want to see them do well.
Yeah.
Like Andy Frisella has a ton of money. He has every car that you could buy. And he has amazing companies and awesome employees that he loves to spend time with. And he is very honest about the fact that he is so motivated by other people that are crushing it. He doesn't want to see people do bad. He wants to see them do well. And again, like you said, it's probably going to make him elevate his game even more. So it's a competitive thing.
And then we talk about these people like Gary Vee and Andy and a lot of these successful people. And it seems now easy to say, oh, well, dude, he's driving a freaking Lambo like he's worth $100 million. Gary Vee's run a $100 million company. Of course he wants everybody to do better because he's already made his money, because he's already done well. Did he have that thought process when he was coming up? I don't know. And maybe they did, maybe they didn't, but I think if you could just get that early on, wrap your head around that early on and have that mentality that they have now, I think it's good. I think it's a good thing to say, like, have their same mentality, even though we aren't there yet, even though this isn't a $100 million brand yet. I think that the important thing is that we have that mentality.
Yeah, and I would say, and we talked about this again in a previous segment about the book, The Go-Giver.
Yeah.
And I think that sheds light on that message in that book that, if you can truly learn early on that the more you give, probably the more you get, but you have to give from a sincere place of really wanting to see people do well and helping them and lifting them up and catapulting them to new levels that in return you'll probably do the same as well. So check out that book if you haven't read that. It's called The Go-Giver.
It'll be in the show notes. All right. Shout out Gary Vee. All right. Challenge. Holy crap.
What is the challenge?
Today's challenge, sorry, I didn't know what this was for.
Well, that was at the end of the thing, but we don't need to talk about that.
Okay. All right. Hey, we're not going to talk about that right now. So what the challenge for today is to evaluate your circle of friends, because I think a lot of this, Mike and I just talked about like relationships. Evaluate who's in your life, who's supporting you, where they fit in your lifestyle. If you want to be super successful,
go right down the line, Brian. Go right down the line, brother.
Just evaluate them and figure out where you are in your life and what you really want, and then either categorize them or start spending time with more successful people, or do the things that you need to do to be successful. But you need but make sure your circle is up to date with what you want in your life.
Yes, well said. Yeah, there is definitely a cost to ambition, you guys, both for health, personal, and business. But again, as you continue on in your journey, I think it's about quote unquote trimming the fat in all areas of your life, and you're gonna be on a much leaner, more I don't know how to explain it, but the path that you're gonna be on is gonna be filled with less things that I'm having a hard time explaining it. Trimming the fat. It's a leaner journey less acquaintances. You're going to
Yeah.
have more friends. That you're going to have a better perspective of where your journey is actually going. You're trimming the fat, essentially.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think what we're just trying to say is like you're going to find the people who align with you, and so it's not going to be hundreds and you know tons of people and tons of acquaintances. It's going to be maybe 10 to 20 close people,
and that's okay.
And that's okay.
Yep.
But these people are all going to be influencers, people who are crushing it, people who are doing well in all aspects of life, and so it will. Your world will get smaller. And
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Trimmer, like you're trimming the fat.
Yeah.
Your world's getting smaller because you just have better focus. You have
Exactly.
a better idea of what's actually going on here.
You're looking through this gigantic funnel, and now it's starting to narrow in, and you're getting to that bottom of that funnel where it's like, okay, it's getting laser focused now.
That's right. That's right. And the health tip for today, I've talked about apple cider vinegar before and the health benefits of it to help with digestion. But I wanted to share even more research that I actually came across is that, you know, when trying to lose weight and burn body fat, your blood sugar is a huge factor. You want to have lower blood sugar levels. You want to have stable blood sugar levels. The studies that came out showed that if you were to ingest 2 tablespoons of the apple cider vinegar with a meal, not 5, because they did it 5 hours before and then 1 with the meal. The ones that did it with the meal had 20% lower blood sugar after the meal. So the lower your blood sugar, typically the better, because you have a lower A1C, which is like a 3-month snapshot of where your blood sugar is on average. You want to get that A1C down, and you can only do that by getting your blood sugar down consistently, which is going to help you ultimately lose weight and lose body fat. So I would suggest maybe just to start off, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, do 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar with the meal, and to see how you feel over the next month or two. You're probably going to have better digestion, better bowel movements, and then if you were to actually test your blood sugar, then you would probably prove this study right, that your blood sugar indeed was lower on average.
I love it. I love it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. The Cost of Ambition, episode 36. We're wrapping it up here. Thank you. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, Facebook. We love you guys. We so much appreciate you being on the podcast. We appreciate your eyeballs. We appreciate your ears. Please subscribe, rate, and review. Check us out on iTunes, and we will see you all on the next episode.